Welcome everybody to more Kaiju July. Today's extra dose feature is 1978, 78 or 70, wait, 76, right?
76. Yeah.
76. 1976 King Kong. 49 years ago. Starring Jeff Bridges, Jessica introducing in her very first movie role, Jessica Lange. Director John Gullum, also starring Sir Charles Gordon, John Rounduff, Renee. How do you pronounce? Do you know how to pronounce his name? Renee.
Yeah, Odo from Deep Space Nine. Yeah, in a very early film role.
Yeah. Julius Harris, Jack O'Halloran.
Yep. We got 9 in this, folks.
Ed Lauder.
Ed Lauder, yeah.
And produced by Dino De Laurentiis. I hope I pronounced that right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this action adventure sci-fi kaiju from 1976 has a runtime of 2 hours and 15 minutes. Would you like to read the synopsis? Deleted.
All right, let me get that booted up real quick. Bear with me, folks. King Kong, 1976. Okay, rated PG, runtime 2 hours and 14 minutes. That is the theatrical edition. There is a longer broadcast television cut. All right. A petroleum exploration expedition comes to an isolated island and encounters a colossal giant gorilla. And of course, before that happens, they have to deal with Prescott, played by Jeff Bridges, who has stowed away on board the vessel. And also along the way, they find a shipwrecked would-be supermodel, and that is played by Jessica Lange. And together they wind up going to the island and encountering one Mr. Senior King Kong. So, yeah, and everything that comes to entail.
This was my very first introduction to Kong. I later found the older 1933 Kong after this, but this was my very first one. This actually made me fall in love with Kong,
Mm-hmm.
And even at the tender age of like 6 years old, I developed a crush on Jessica Lange. I just thought she was so beautiful, so beautiful. She, especially with them round things on her chest. You know what I'm talking about, Curtis?
Yeah. This was my first introduction to King Kong as well, and what I remember originally seeing was the poster that is in my avatar and the one it is in the background, and just being trying to take in everything that is taking place in that picture, and being being a kid, as I was a very small child at the time, and seeing on the news whenever they would refer to guerrillas, I didn't understand it. They meant soldiers, the other spelling of guerrillas, which I didn't know. I honestly thought that there were gorillas with guns in certain parts of the world that were, you know, coming to kill you. So I thought this was going to be more of the same. I was a child. I was small. I didn't get it. But yes, yeah. I was very much creeped out, really more by the poster. And then I saw the film and I went, this actually isn't so bad. And you're kind of, by the end of the movie, as you usually are, you're usually on Kong's side by the end of it. And
Yeah.
this movie is no different. So if you're a fan of King Kong films and you've yet seen this one, you're in for a treat. If you like the original version and if you like the Jackson version, this is kind of the missing link between the two. So,
Yep.
all right. I do want to remind everyone, of course, that due to YouTube's copyright guidelines, we cannot show you this film live. But if you are joining us live, and hello to Andrea Black, you can join us on Cosme. You can also use your own personal copy. This is mine. There are. This is the Blu-ray that was released recently through Shout Factory, and on this this edition, there are two versions. I know there's a bit of a glare. There are two versions of the movie. One of them is the theatrical edit, which we're going to be watching today, and then there was also the extended broadcast cut from television where they showed the movie over 2 nights. So if you get this edition, you can see both versions of the movie. But if you want to get the original theatrical experience, that's the version we're going to be showing to you today. Yeah. So yeah. So if so don't come at us. Please do not come at us later with, where's the movie? It's a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
They would take either the broadcast or make us edit out the parts of the film that we were showing on screen. Yeah. So really the thing that we can suggest would be to, take it up with YouTube. And if enough people say something, maybe they'll loosen up on the guidelines a little bit. That's kind of the kind of an unfortunate thing about doing a YouTube broadcast like this from America is that, there are places, across the pond, shall we say, where they're a little bit looser on the copyright. Unfortunately, we don't have that. We don't have that luxury, which is why we always suggest, physical media, or Fandango at home is a good place to watch, to find a lot of the movies that we show here. Tubi as well, I'm sure, has this. Yeah, okay.
Could be on Prime with AMC Plus.
Enough of my yakking. That's my PSA for the broadcast. So, all right, we are going to get on with it.
Yep.
So
there we go. And I love the music. I love the score to this, especially this opening sequence. Paramount. I wonder if it could even be on Paramount Plus. It could. So You might want to check there.
Surabaya, Indonesia. Here we have the Petrox Explorer, which is the ship we're going to be on for kind of the first portion of the film.
It's not quite an oil tanker, but kind of like an oil tanker, I guess.
And of course, Jack Holler in there, who you might remember as Non from Superman, the motion picture, and Superman 2. Also, the 1987 Dragnet film. Rene Aubergenois, of course, who was Clayton Endicott on Benson, and was Odo on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Here he is in an early film role. He was also the original Father Mulcahy in MASH. He was the original film. Of course, here's Jeff Bridges, kind of very much in hippie mode in this movie. And he is going to stall away on the boat here. And the guy playing the guard here, he did a lot of TV at the time, too. He's a very familiar face.
I like how he bribes this guy, acting all drunk and drops his money. He clearly did that on purpose. Like, there's no way he did that on accident.
And Charles Grodin here is going to be the leader, playing the leader of the expedition. Very, very much in kind of slimy, greedy guy mode in this movie. He's the kind of the man you love to hate.
Yes, before he did Beethoven, he did 76 Kong. He played a great protagonist in this, Dino De Laurentiis presents
John Guillermin film.
King Kong.
1976. I was 3 years old.
I was about 4 years old, and I think I saw it in 77 or 78. But these, back when films kind of hang around a lot longer in the theaters or would have resurgence in theaters,
I don't remember if I saw this in theaters or not. I may very well have.
I think I remember begging my uncles to go take me to go see this, and they always did. they were good uncles.
Mhm.
It's also used to play on HBO a lot back in the day when HBO was brand spanking new.
Mhm. Of course, they have sailed into the storm, and they're getting a mayday from the ship that Jessica Lange's character is on board.
Which happens to be some rich person's yacht,
Mhm.
probably about a 50 or 60 footer yacht, I imagine. Nowadays, nowadays yachts are ridiculously big. They're between 50 and 80 or to 90-foot vessels, which are pretty darn luxurious, luxurious. Hail to Words and Pictures, our friend and brother from across the pond. Hope you're doing well and always great to see you, my friend.
Good to see you. Words and pictures. We are. Let's see. 7 minutes 50 seconds into the theatrical edit of King Kong.
Yep.
Do want to remind everybody to please hit the like, share out the stream, let everybody know that we are live today. And also make a point to say hello in the comments because it really
Absolutely.
does help out the algorithm. And let's YouTube know that people are in fact watching us. So every little bit helps. We're getting our core group of characters here in this scene. And we're also seeing Julius Harris, who's a prolific character actor from the time. He's also in Gathering of Old Men with Lou Gossett. He's also in Prayer of the Roller Boys with Corey Haim. I don't know how many people remember that movie, but he's in that. Yep, Odo is in the movie there on the right side of the screen there. Words and pictures, yeah. If I remember correctly, the guy sitting on in the second row on the left, I think he was in Kelly's Heroes.
Notice how the island is shaped like a skull.
Mm-hmm. Hence the the name. Or at least that's how they justify it in this version. Kind of adds to the creep factor a little bit too.
Yeah.
It's called Skull Island. It's shaped like a skull. Why are we going here, guys?
Yeah.
I vote we leave. Who votes we leave?
That's kind of a creepy factor that this whole island for all these years, sailors have known about it, and this fog bank that would kind of set my mind at ease. It would be like, why is there a fog bank constantly around this island?
You're like, you're getting me all wrong, man.
This one here just looks like it needs some water. So.
I'm just here for my rug. Yeah,
Oh, that's just mean.
Right.
Uh, they usually call them dinghies, the little rafts that are attached to small yachts.
I saw her first. No, I did. No, I did. Well, yeah. You son of a cat. Who do you think you're kidding? Okay, shove over, kid.
That's a little bit too personal there. The smelling salt. She must have been like 23 or 24 when she filmed this one. Words, you're a doctor. Anybody in that situation wanted to be a doctor.
Okay, so Fred has checked out Prescott. He's who he says he is, and turns out he has some medical training and was in the Navy, and
Yeah.
he's on the level. And of course, Jessica Lange asking about Harry and everybody else who was on the yacht, and Yeah, Harry. Yeah, we won't be seeing him. Harry is not appearing in this film.
No, because he's a crispy critter
Yeah,
who sank to the bottom of the South Pacific Ocean. The yacht was on fire. The captain was explaining how that the raft was self-inflating and it shot a flare, and he was swimming towards the flare that saved her life. The Pacific is a very, very large ocean. She got very, very lucky.
it's big, it's blue, and it's got a lot of fish in it. Sorry, it's different.
A lot of sharks. Shark Week starts tomorrow. An adult film, no less.
That's the implication. Yeah.
Yeah. And she just named the same
Yes.
movie.
Yeah, the critics really went after her with this movie. They didn't like her performance. I don't think it's so much the performance. I mean, it was her first movie, but you're I think it's just more the way her character is written in this,
Yeah.
because there are several points where you're wondering what the hell is she on about. you know
She's playing a somewhat southern gal
yeah.
who, and the blonde. They were really whoever wrote the character wrote it as like a dumb blonde southern gal who wants to become a movie starlet.
Hmm. Hi. Hmm.
I was saying that she must have been about 23 or 24 when she filmed this.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. Sorry, wrong music. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry. I think King Kong needs theme music.
Flock of birds. Flock of birds.
Yeah.
A little
No.
bit bigger than a flock of birds.
Well, these guys aren't expecting giant gorilla.
Yeah, nobody is.
Hmm.
Hello, you can't come ashore. I like that she likes to point that out. It's quite comical.
Can't argue with that, I guess.
Yeah. She's got a gas card. It's Petrox. An entire fictitious company that looks a lot like some of the 70s era oil companies. Excellent. Hello, Lady Miss. Good to see you. This is actually in Hawaii, doubling for Skull Island or the island. Bring the mosquito spray. Well, whatever you say, Mr. Lebowski. What a beautiful pulled back shot here. This, this is obviously the big island in Hawaii. Hawaii. You were saying? I think there's definitely an indigenous life here on the island. That's a stand-in. That's the groom stand-in. They have been spotted by the locals. Welcome back.
All
Welcome
right.
back
Well,
to the.
thank you. All right. Well, the first meeting did not go well.
No.
um, and then on to Portland. This is 70s talk, kids. Just give them a few minutes. It'll be over soon.
Sure it ain't that adult one. What do you think, Curtis?
No.
Yes, words and pictures. The indigenous life forms left something behind. Their peculiar jewelry. And how great the indigenous life forms residents are great at making jewelry out of seashells. Your next ex-wife, Curtis. It's quite a revealing outfit. A lot of skin being shown. Curtis, nice, nice clip from the 33 Kong. Curtis, you're cracking me up. Tired midnight blogger, you're cracking me up, man. What tarnation? I wonder, did they drug her in some way? Give her a
Yeah,
drink?
I think that's the idea
Uh,
that
she
they
kind
might
of,
have. Yeah,
they give her a beverage that had something in her.
here comes our rescue party.
No CGI whatsoever. Practical effects all here. Kong has accepted his new offering. Yeah. I think that was an ad lib Jeff Bridges line. That's a footprint. Kong is admiring her beauty as she awakes. They really did a good job in finding the sound of Kong. I feel. I'm sure it's a lot of different things mixed together, but damn,
Mm.
when you hear that Kong's roar, you know he's mean business. That is a really good on-screen movie monster. Kong or deleted. What do you think of the Kong's roar?
Yeah, it is probably a number of different elements. I'm sure it's different animals. Sometimes they get like like voice actors and stuff to come in and kind of approximate it.
Oh yeah, sweet talking's just gonna be a work of.
Yeah, you got me. It's real.
Don't upset Kong. Hmm.
So she went to twist, yeah. Yeah, who knew, right? And of course, Fred finding out there that basically the oil is no good. So he's coming up with a second plan here. Curtis says, I don't think Jeff Bridges ever aged till about 2000. Yeah, about, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Oh, not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. You pissed. You only pissed him off. Don't piss off the 50-foot gorilla.
Whoops. Carnahan's gone.
Damn it.
Ooh. Well, that was a close one. Words and Pictures wants a timestamp. I've got 1 hour, 14 minutes, 43, 44, 45 seconds.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
1 hour 14. Yeah, 53.
This is the infamous Gord scene. And Jack is stuck in the a hole on the side of the cliff there where Kong can't get to him. Bonus survived. Carnahan is dead, as are Joe's dead. Jack O'Halloran's dead. Yeah, this is pretty much where we lose the bulk of our main guys that we've met up to now. Yeah, no problem. Words and Pictures. It's all good. We got you.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone who is still sticking with us on Cosme. I had to switch off because I kept losing StreamYard. But like I said, I have my own copy, so I am following. I am synced up. And of course, here's the Petrox plane who's dropping off supplies in the water here. Roy's at base camp on the beach with Fred. I like how Roy's just kind of on that line of being just as smarmy as Wilson, but yet at the same time, kind of the voice of reason.
Yeah.
No wonder the Dominion decided to invade. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that says it all. Engineers only improvement renovating the walls to bulldozer. Keep the wall the way it is. This is fine. Dude, stop it. You're being creepy. I'm a woman. You're a giant ape. It'll never work. Of course, that's going to be important later.
Kong, you're getting a little bit fresh, buddy. Ah. Da-da-da. Oh, man.
Oh, crap. It's that way, Basty. Oh. Okay, you're back.
Yeah.
All right.
I had to fix my audio.
All right. We're at the giant snake sequence. Yes, well, you can say it.
Kong gets a little jealous here. Wait a minute. He's got my girl.
Yeah, she blocked me, a darn dude. Whoops. Oh, there you go.
9.0 side move. Curtis. Giveaway. I suppose you could, Curtis.
You got a what? What
Jump.
for?
That's no. That's a cliff dive. Like they made one giant monkey trap.
Oh, yeah.
We'll pull back the bolt halfway.
You know, this season of American Horror Story is not what I was expecting at all.
It just occurred to me the captain is Clark Griswold's father
Yeah.
in Christmas Vacation. Another classic. Please help me.
No, no, none, none, no, none at all. Oh my God! It's the guy in a monkey suit. Run! Yeah, I noticed that too.
I'm going with the villagers were right to make the wall.
Yeah.
I see a gorilla that big. I'm definitely gonna build a wall to keep his ass out. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea.
I'm as mad as hell. He's not going to take it anymore. Yeah, I think that's true too. Here's Johnny. What? Oh, come on. It digs a hole here. Other chloroform dumps onto humans, and Kong takes them all back to his giant dollhouse to play with them. Yeah. Oh, great. Where were you guys? Thanks for the warning, you jerks.
I really love this scene here. The Kong's about to be zonked out here, but he's moving his arm about.
Criticism deducting 3 points for a trap actually working.
Now, how the hell did they get it onto the boat? Get it from there
Yeah,
to the sea? Yeah.
Yeah, we don't see that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got a time cut we're dealing with here. So
I wonder if the original shot a scene to explain all that. I wonder. Did it make the cutting rooms? Did it make a deleted scene?
well, as we said earlier, there is a longer version of this film. So I got to think that perhaps that may have been part of it. But any time Kong is taken from either Skull Island or Hollow Earth or wherever he may be, or just randomly in Japan for some reason, you never quite find out exactly how he got there. You don't normally see that.
Because that would have been one hell of a thing to get it from the pit that they made, the trap that they made, to the boat. They teleported him to.
Yeah. Yeah, they teleported him. It's decibel. Fortune Pictures is the gate coming down to giant from the prehistoric past, entering the modern world. History meets modernity. Modern humanity captures rather than lose a D8. This 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 Midnight Run prequel is weird.
Yeah. I liked him in Taking Care of Business with Jim Belushi.
Look, to be honest, pal, it's not that difficult.
Yeah. Boy, it must have been a lot big dollar amount for him to, you know, everybody's got a price, right?
That's what they say.
Ain't nothing like a scarf to set a giant gorilla up off.
I'm not losing you to a giant ape. And the answer is yes. Well, I hope that wasn't anything important.
You should have never put a 50-foot gorilla on your boat in the first damn place. Yeah, already heard him by taking him away from his home.
No! Oh, nice catch.
Hello, Daniel's Hot Topics.
We are an hour and 40 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yep, about to come into the third act of the film.
And of course, cut two. New York, 4th of July weekend. And Wilson's big plan to show Kong off to the world. And Hello to Big Al Presents,
Hello, Big Al.
host of Films with Friends, creator of the 10-Word Review. We were just on Films with Friends last night. We watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil. So please check that video out.
Mm-hmm.
As well as Al's other reviews. F1, Karate Kid Legends are just among some of the latest. And hello to Daniel Berry Sports Highlights.
Hello, Daniel Berry, Sports Highlights. This the commercial on this whole thing is all so 70s ish. They really caught the essence of the 70s here.
That's kind of the point, Curtis. The only thing they left out was getting Evil Knievel to jump over King Kong.
Yeah. Bring out a giant pump. A fuel pump.
Curtis says before Phantom of the Opera, this is what was considered entertainment. How they got the Burger King crown on his head, I have no idea. But there you go. Oh, poopy.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Yeah.
were saying it destroys us
Play-Doh.
like it's tissue paper.
Evil Knievel would have been amazing. I know, right? I think the presentation's going well, don't you? Oh.
Yeah.
It's all part of the act.
Yeah, Fred, you had this
Yeah.
coming.
Goodbye, Fred.
No more Fred.
Jack freaking Prescott. This version of the Warriors is weird.
Today was a bad day to ride the L train. Wait, that ain't her. It tosses her to the ground.
Whoops.
That one might have been better than what you had. Poor girl, her only mistake was wearing the same type of colored dress as it that Dawn was wearing.
You must. You must escape the Bronx.
Something House Company.
Did the girl survive the one that Kong flung away? Probably not. Virgin Pictures says this got out of a 1966 MGB GT. This car was looking down, had to up. It's a lovely car. The 70s Army's couldn't fight Iran, let alone Kong. Yeah, well. Yeah. Oh, look, it's Cheers.
Yeah. only
Norm!
in only in New York.
Dude, you don't want to swim in that river.
Gorilla in the Hudson.
Yeah. Connor's destroying the city. Let's have a drink. Yeah. Thank you. Here to the film's end. Don't forget to tip your waitress.
Never leave home without your Diners Club
Uh,
card.
was
Or
that the
Master.
towers? Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the World Trade Center towers. Yeah. Newly built at this point in time. Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And they're always watching. Want to go where everybody knows your name. Da-da-da-da-da. All right, back with comedic homeless. And then Godzilla. I don't think they have any homeless people in this that I remember. Go!
Oh,
Jeez!
don't piss on the electric fence, Kong. Damn it. Oh, he ate the light. Somebody tell your 50-foot monkey, don't piss on the electric fence.
And he says, back in 1976, saw the kids who were playing Atari. Eh? Some of us still are. Do you think Godzilla or a version of Godzilla exists in this universe? Maybe. I'm disappointed it's not the mayor from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I don't remember if King Kong Lives was supposed to be like a legit sequel to it or not, Daniel, but it might have been. Don't believe when the mayor's lying. Yeah. You had one job. Prequel to Four Rooms is weird. Yeah. How do you do that? Brown is fast. Jesus. 42nd Street? Yay. Hey. Oh, wait.
This is kind of hard to see. Watch now.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
A monument of what it was once was.
There he goes. Oh, okay.
Now this helicopter's coming to wipe his ass out.
I refuse to believe there was nobody in here, even at night.
They run on somebody else's orders.
Here, put them back. Here we go. Still, the military response has been more effective than that in real life at the time. 5 reporting in. Simply Red reporting in. Oh. One down. Red Buttons reporting in. Hello, Mark Harkness. Catching us right at the end of the film here. It's 2.
What a crummy deal Kong's getting. I mean, he got kidnapped from his home, all for an execution. Really horrible. You kidnap me and then you shoot me.
And there he goes.
Oh. That's what I don't like the most, that they had to put the heartburn and then people crawling all over him. Well, she got down really fast.
Too soon. Words and pictures. Too soon. The worst possible fate to be resurrected, and even worse movie years later. Dana says, I just found King Kong Lives. It's on YouTube. Yep. So this is seen at the beginning of the movie. Kong climbing the Empire State Building and being shot down.
Yeah. She kind of just did teleport from the top of the building to the bottom. Sleazy governor of New York. Mayor of New York, sorry.
They had a deal, you prank. No, we never found that out. She can teleport. Yeah, I couldn't tell you, Daniel. I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
Rick Baker, who went on to get an Academy Award for American Werewolf in London. And that was Dino Laurentiis, King Kong. You may consult the scrolls.
All right. King Kong was released December 17th of 1976. Estimated budget 24 million, going on to gross 53 million worldwide. Was nominated for best sound and cinematography, and received the Special Achievement Award for visual effects. Also won the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films Award. Was nominated at the BAFTAs for production design. Jessica Lange won a Golden Globe for Best Acting Debut in a Motion Picture, and won the Silver Medallion Award at the Telluride Film Festival. Filming
You're
locations. Yes.
I was just to say, you're welcome, Lady Mist and Curtis and everybody. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead.
Filming location, Stage 32, Paramount Studios, 5555 Melrose Avenue, Hollywood. The Biltmore Hotel, 506 South Grand Street, downtown Los Angeles. The Hanapu Beach, Kauai, Hawaii, for Skull Island. Manhattan, New York City, New York. The Sony Pictures Studios, 10202 West Washington Boulevard, Culver City, California. The Napali Coast, Kauai, Hawaii, also for Skull Island. The New York Public Library, 476 Fifth Avenue, Manhattan. The Queensboro Bridge in Manhattan. Queensbridge Park in Queens. San Pedro, Los Angeles, California. And, of course, the World Trade Center Plaza, Manhattan. Did he sue? No, Kong couldn't afford an attorney. They paid him in bananas. Says, well nominated for sound. Thought the soundtrack was lacking. Depends on what else it was up against. Not true. Kong's reputation was severely harmed by participation in this movie. Which says, I imagine Kong sat by his pool reading the reviews while smoking a cigar. All right. On to the trivia. All right. Carlo Rambaldi was to design a life-size mechanical gorilla for filming, whilst a massive and expensive model was being constructed. Makeup artist Rick Baker built a much cheaper gorilla costume to wear in some scenes. Sources differ as to what happened to Rambaldi's model. Cher, Sylvia Kristel, Bette Midler, Valerie Perrine, and Barbara Streisand were considered for the part of Dawn. Okay. When Dawn first appears in the film, she's in a rubber dinghy floating towards the Petrox Explorer. Her makeup assistant later told her that a shark had been seen near her dinghy while she was in it. Ugh. That's not good. Universal had originally planned to make a more faithful remake of King Kong to be titled The Legend of King Kong, which was going to be a period piece set in the 1930s. However, they backed out when this modern remake was announced. It would also have been released in Sensurround. Hammer had also intended to remake the movie a few years earlier, but it was scrapped after a few test reels were shot. However, some of the Hammer footage was used in a Volkswagen commercial. Roman Polanski, Michael Winner, and Sam Peckinpah were offered the chance to direct, but all turned it down.
That would have been interesting, the Sam Peckinpah Kong.
Yeah. I think Kong would have won.
Yeah.
Jaws wanted revenge for not being in the film. Yeah. All right. Bo Derek was offered and turned down the role of Dawn. According to her autobiography, Dino De Laurentiis approached Britt Eklund for the role, and she turned it down. Employees of the Empire State Building expressed their displeasure at the producer's decision to stage the remake's climax at the World Trade Center by picketing the 102nd floor of the Empire State Building dressed in monkey suits. Dino De Laurentiis originally approached fellow Italian Mario Bava to handle the special effects. Bava did not want to leave Italy, so he turned down the offer. He recommended Carlo Rambaldi. A lot of pre-release publicity emphasized a giant mechanical robot that appeared on screen for less than a minute. For shots of Kong holding Jessica Lange, the filmmakers built giant hydraulic gorilla arms. The hands were 6 feet across, and the arms weighed 1,650 pounds each. They weren't ready until shooting was well underway. When they were finally built, Dino De Laurentiis was invited to the set to witness a test. He walked into the studio, and a giant arm extended in his direction. Then the middle finger slowly uncurled and extended itself. De Laurentiis broke up. So did the arm. It was frozen finger up for a week. The 40-foot Kong was constructed with a 3.5 ton aluminum frame covered with rubber and 1,012 pounds of Argentinian horsetails sewn into place individually. Its insides were comprised of 3,100 feet of hydraulic hose and 4,500 feet of electrical wiring. It was controlled by 20 operators and cost a total of $1.7 million. The full-sized mechanical arms were suspended from a crane to extend and lift Jessica Lange 30 to 40 feet in the air. Carlo Rambaldi's mechanical King Kong is the largest mechanical creature ever created, towering a little over 40 feet. Rambaldi's life-size mechanical Kong was constructed after establishing the size of the hands in comparison to Jessica Lange when scaling the body to the hands. A 40-foot Kong model was then constructed to create the rubber and horsehair skin for the mechanical Kong. Other than the massive mechanical Kong, Rambaldi constructed the two mechanical hands that held Jessica Lange under the supervision of Glenn Robinson at MGM's construction department. The hands of duraluminum metal with special bolts in the knuckles to prevent the hand from closing too tightly, even if the main cable in the wrist broke, and covered with rubber and Argentinian horsehair, took 4.5 months to create. 7 different masks were created by Carlo Rambaldi and molded by Rick Baker to convey various emotions. Separate masks were necessary as there were too many cables and mechanics required for all the expressions to fit in one single mask. The masks were comprised of a plastic skull over which were placed artificial muscle groups activated by cables which entered the costume through Kong's feet. But the outer latex skins molded by Baker were placed over the top. The masks used hydraulics to mask movement, so much like the mechanical Kong and hands. The facial expressions were controlled by a team of operators working offset with the control boards to complete the look of a gorilla. Baker wore contact lenses so his eyes would resemble that of a gorilla's. Rick Baker created and wore 4 ape suits, a special undersuit with silicone-filled muscles realistically depicted the appropriate musculature beneath the fur. The hands used animatronic extensions controlled by operators offset to give Kong appropriately gorilla-like long limbs. Jessica Lange's screen test consisted of 3 scenes. Her discovery in the life raft by the Petrox crew, Dawn convincing Wilson to let her join the crew on the island, and Dawn throwing her fit, hitting Kong on the nose, which was a pillow positioned above the camera at the time. Federico De Laurentiis. Yeah, I misgendered him. I'm sorry. Federico De Laurentiis, son of Dino De Laurentiis, and executive producer for the film, extensively photographed a gorilla named Bern at a local zoo. Those photos were used for the basis of Kong. Pre-production started as early as 1974, Dino De Laurentiis proposing his ideas and hiring Lorenzo Semple Jr. to write the film's script. Artist John Berkeley was commissioned to create artwork of King Kong in various situations, which were Kong wrecking a snake, wrecking a Skull Island wall, wrecking a train, wrecking boats, a rarely seen variation, wrecking Shea Stadium, an overhead view of Kong scaling the World Trade Center, the only painting with a different Kong face, albeit partially obscured by the angle. Kong straddling the World Trade Center. De Laurentiis was most fond of Kong on the World Trade Center and used the early draft of the artwork as the film's teaser poster in the New York Times a few days after completion in 1975, promising that the film would be released in time for Christmas 1976. The teaser poster artwork was nicknamed Travolta Kong due to the style of his hair. Also depicted in this early poster was Kong crushing a jet in his right hand, an alarmed dawn in his left, and his shadow being cast over the World Trade Center. After the script was complete, the film cast, the director at the helm, and filming ready to begin, the poster artwork was changed to what we see now. Lorenzo Semple Jr.'s initial idea was to have the romantic lead named Joe Perko, a comical Italian oil drilling foreman. Don was to be a classy, semi-intellectual camera operator of a movie unit on the expedition to film commercials for Petrox. Semple changed his mind, however, deciding to do something predictable and TV movie-ish about a female camera operator. Therefore, Joe Perko was bumped down the line and Jack Prescott was created as the liberal young Princeton anthropologist and the camera operator female became the would-be actress at Adrift at Sea. His reasoning for this was having established a reality of a sort of the oil exploration vessel setting sail, we needed a bridge to the fantasy which will follow. And what more agreeable fantasy than finding the most gorgeous girl in the world floating unconscious in the South Pacific? Filming took 7 months of 12-hour days from January to August 1976. New York City Climax was filmed in June 1976 with a casting call for over 5,000 extras. Over 30,000 people showed up and were gladly used. As both a personal thank you to the crew and a promotional tool, Dino De Laurentiis had 500 polystyrene and wood Kong maquettes created, costing him $200 each. In a January 31st, 1977 issue of People magazine featuring Jessica Lange, the article features a picture of Lange presenting one of the maquettes to then Massachusetts Governor Michael Dukakis. Kong's home is never referred to as Skull Island. About 11 minutes in, a quote from an obscure historical text mentions the beach of the skull. The mechanical hands used each weighed 1,650 pounds. During filming of the scene where Kong caresses Dawn, the hand left Jessica Lange with a painfully pinched nerve in her neck. Steven Spielberg was considered to direct. In a 2008 interview with David Letterman, Meryl Streep revealed she auditioned for the role of Dawn. Dino De Laurentiis turned to his son, describing Streep as, quote, too ugly for King Kong. Not knowing Streep understood the language, she responded in perfect Italian that she was very sorry to have disappointed him and left De Laurentiis stunned. The Special Achievement Academy Award presented by the Board of Governors at the 1977 Oscars was very hotly disputed. Several board members resigned in protest when the decision was made. During filming, tabloids speculated that Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange were having an on-set affair. The rumors were false, as Lange was in a relationship with Russian ballet dancer and actor Mikhail Baryshnikov, and Bridges was engaged to Susan Justin, who's still his wife to this day. Lange and Bridges have remained friends ever since making the film. Kong's vocalizations were recorded by an uncredited Peter Cullen, straining his vocal cords so badly that he coughed up blood in the recording studio. Ouch. For the scene where Kong destroys an elevated train, the Astoria L in Queens, New York, special effects supervisor Glenn Robinson and his team constructed a large section of track, as well as several miniature subway cars complete with 70s era graffiti. One of the cars was rigged with a wire that did most of the actual lifting in the shot, where Kong picks it up and throws it into a building. Robinson's crew also rigged a series of big explosions designed to go off when the car hits the building. Rick Baker recalls the explosions as being so intense that on several occasions he became convinced that his suit had caught on fire, although thankfully that wasn't the case. To construct the World Trade Center miniatures, production designer Dale Hennessy obtained the blueprints and architectural drawings of the real buildings, which allowed him to reproduce all aspects of the buildings in exact detail. In actuality, several sets were created. The first was a recreation of the main plaza built in the studio backlot and included a 3-sided reproduction of the South Tower and a 2-sided reproduction of the North Tower. The elevated train sequence was filmed in Astoria, Queens, New York during the summer of 1976. A wooden mock-up of an R16 subway car painted in the white with blue striped scheme was used. It was attached to a crane near the old Astoria L Tower on 31st Street and 23rd Road. On the Ditmars bound track between Astoria Boulevard and the Ditmars Boulevard stations. The crane was used to simulate King Kong smashing up the train. Filming was done at night, and there was no Broadway local service at the time. Melanie Griffith screen tested for the role of Dawn. A second unit filmed the waterfall scene. The waterfall background used in the film was shot in Brazil. Fay Wray was offered a cameo. She turned it down because she didn't like the script. Filming on the miniature Kong scenes continued long after the end of principal photography and didn't wrap up until October 20th, 1976. The miniature scenes began filming on April 26, 1976. The first scene shot was the sacrifice scene, in which Kong crashes through the trees, approaches the wall, picks Dawn up from the altar, and carries her off into the jungle. The last major full-scale sequence shot for this film was the one in which Kong wrecks the elevated subway train. A wrap party was held on August 30th, 1976 on stage 27 at MGM. To prepare for the party, the Big Kong's head and torso was placed on the stage in front of a blue screen, draped with a sash containing the simple message to cast and crew, "Thanks, Kong." In June 1976, production moved to New York City. The first shots done in New York City were the high-angle shots of the military moving into position on the World Trade Center Plaza, which would later be used as background plates for the shots in which Kong climbs up the side of the South Tower. King Kong does not appear until nearly 53 minutes into the film. A small framed movie. Yep. Sorry?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. A small framed movie marquee poster for King Kong 1976 can be seen on the wall above the Mac computer in Jerry's apartment on Seinfeld during the 1994 season. Let's see. A makeup subway car was built on a gimbal and hoisted up on one end as Jeff Bridges and Jessica Lange fought their way out of the other. This scene was Bridges' last day of work on the film. After he was done, the big hand of Kong was rolled in to pick up the actors, playing the poor woman that mistakes Kong for Dawn. Kong mistakes for Dawn. From August 11th, 1976 to August 20th, 1976, the main unit filmed the last big sequence of the production, the presentation scene where Kong makes his New York City debut. I'll read a few more of these. There's many, so. Charles Grodin and John Randolph would appear in Heaven Can Wait 2 years later. After the September 11th, 2001 terror attacks, Paramount Home Video voluntarily recalled all retail DVD copies that showed King Kong atop the World Trade Center surrounded by aircraft. The DVD was later reissued with a different cover. Producer Dino De Laurentiis had two stipulations for making the film. Firstly, that it be set in the present day, and secondly, that it featured the then newly constructed World Trade Center. This was the seventh highest grossing film of 1976. Farrah Fawcett was considered for her part of Dawn. Dino De Laurentiis approached Ray Harryhausen about providing stop motion effects for Kong. Harryhausen turned him down as he felt that 12 months wasn't sufficient time to deliver on such a detailed shoot. Screenwriter Lorenzo Semple Jr. was hired on the strength of his screenplay 3 Days to Condor. Carlo Rambaldi's mechanical ape was 40 feet tall and weighed over 6 tons. Despite costing $500,000, it proved too unwieldy and was barely used. In his 1992 book, How I Get Through Life, in the chapter titled Sometimes We're Just Hungry, Charles Grodin recounts his teenage daughter, Marion, had a crush on Jeff Bridges at the time. She came to the set and was very disappointed when she got the feeling Bridges didn't know she was alive. Grodin then reveals that having some cheeseburgers and watching a TV show were the best way to cheer up her mood. All right. At 1 hour, 47 minutes, 24 seconds, the mechanical Kong is taller than he is before and after the shot. The sound effects used for Kong were reused in the Dragon Ball anime franchise as the sound of the great ape form of the seance. When the crew is shown the satellite images of the island, it looks like the side profile of a gorilla skull. The address on Prescott's passport and Navy record, 639 Linden Drive, Princeton, New Jersey, is fictitious. There is a Linden Lane in Princeton that only goes up to 234, number-wise. Originally titled King Kong: The Legend Reborn. King Kong's roar was also used as the sound of the Balrog in Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings, 1978. In addition to the 40-foot mechanical Kong and the full-size mechanical hands, Carlo Rambaldi constructed a separate pair of full-size legs used in the scenes of Dawn and the Oil Tanker, Wilson's demise, and the climax atop of the World Trade Center. The full-size non-mechanical styrofoam Kong seen at the end of the film, lying on the shattered pavement. At around 1 hour and 45 minutes, the shot where Kong stomps on Wilson was Charles Grodin's last day of work on the film. In his 1989 autobiography, It Would Be So Nice If You Weren't Here, Charles Grodin recounts that his character was originally going to survive the picture, and that De Laurentiis was already planning a sequel and asked him if he would be interested in reprising the role. But when test audiences didn't like the scene in which Kong tried to stomp on Wilson and missed, it was re-edited to make it look like Wilson was squashed. For some shots in the helicopter attack, Rick Baker had to stand on a scaffold while real helicopters fired blanks at him in the distance using forced perspective to make it appear they were closer and to scale with Kong. Baker claimed that his costume helped protect him from injury while being pelted with spent shells from the blank ammunition fire. Okay. There's more, but it would take a while, so I'm going to cut it off there.
Okay.
The scrolls are closed. You can find the rest on IMDb Pro.
Okay.
Where I have a page, so please feel free to check that out.
Cool. Let's see. Kai July will be back on Thursday with. What are we doing Thursday? Let's see.
I believe we're doing Godzilla 2014.
Yeah, Godzilla 2014. Yep, that's what I see.
All right.
Yep, the 24th. Yep.
Yeah, we have Godzilla 2014, the first in the legendary MonsterVerse series of films.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be, of course, at our usual time, Thursdays at 4:30.
Yeah.
Extra Dose returns as we watch Godzilla versus Space Godzilla from 1994, which I don't recall having ever seen. So we will. That'll be an interesting one. And we are going to round out Kai July on the 31st.
Yep.
With Godzilla versus Kong.
Much better than the original Kong versus Godzilla. Very grainy that was.
Yeah.
There might be some karaoke tonight. I'm not too sure.
Okay. And how about Western cinema? Are we going to be having that this week or no?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Can't seem to get a hold of the feature that I want.
Okay. Well, no worries. You know, that program's not going anywhere, folks. We are going to be back, by hook or by crook, and of course, we will be back next week, as we said, for Godzilla 2014, film in which Godzilla only appears for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Out of a 2 hour and 20-minute movie. So we are definitely going to be talking about that amongst some other things. This is going to be an interesting one because we're going to be talking about a movie that I don't know about Bill, but I personally have some reservations about. But yeah, we're going to be getting into that. But yeah, we're going to be here. We're going to be back. Western Cinema is going to be back. Action theater is going to continue. We definitely have some plans for August for sure, folks. So stay tuned because we got some fun episodes coming up, man. Trust me.
Indeed.
Yeah. All right. All right. So I do want to thank everyone who joined us in Cosme. I want to thank everyone who joined us live. On my end of the show, let's see. Let me take a quick look.
Mark Harness.
Yeah.
Connie Clary.
Mm-hmm.
JPPRPH1.
We had Daniel's Hot Topics. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Curtis Selby. Lady Mist, of course. Our pal from across the pond, Words and Pictures.
Yep.
Let me scroll up. I don't want to miss anybody.
Daniel Berry Sports Highlights.
Mm-hmm. Big Al Presents.
Big Al.
All right.
He's got Flight of the Navigator coming up. Is that tonight or next week?
Flight of the Navigator is going to be, I believe, next Saturday on Al's channel. The film tonight is going to be over on Netter's Network, Retro Cinema, and she is going to be showing Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Of course, from 94.
Mm-hmm.
And on my end of the program, we had 97 people who were here watching us at one point or another. And since Bill is the host and originator of this program, there's usually about 2 times more people watching over on his side than mine. So thank you all very much for the turnout today. We don't normally do this show on Saturdays. It's not an all the time thing. So thank you all very much for the huge turnout. Thank you. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, I wanted to get a few extra kaiju films in there.
Yeah. So please do not forget to hit the like, share out the stream, and most importantly, say hello in the comments because it does help with the algorithm. YouTube does take that into account. So thank you, and please do remember the reason why we can't show the film on screen is it is a YouTube guideline. It's a copyright situation.
Yeah.
So if you would like to see that change or something that to something that if not out and out being able to show the film to something a little less restrictive, let YouTube know. Who knows? They may change the guideline. So right now we're following the rules that they set down, and it's kind of a different rule for different parts of the world. There are places where we could have been able to show the movie. Unfortunately, in America, we can't do that. But yeah, that's why we encourage physical media. Like this. This is my edition of the film we showed tonight. The Blu-ray also contains the extended broadcast edition. When they showed this film on television over 2 nights, there are extra scenes. So make sure to check that out as well. And we're big proponents of physical media here, and of course,
Absolutely.
There are places where you can find us on streaming. I'm sure Fandango.com, Fandango at Home is usually a good place to find a lot of these movies that we show. Tubi, Amazon is also a good place. So if you're coming upon this broadcast and you didn't have the chance to watch along with us live, there are ways in which you can sync up either with your own copy with streaming, and think of this as a fan commentary on the DVD. That's what we do here. So hope you enjoyed the show.
Absolutely. So I always say, remember and always be excellent to one another. Party on. And we'll see you on the next one. Later, folks. Deleted scenes.
And as I say at the end of every show, thank you all very much once again for joining us. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy. Once again, please, 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 please do not make the monkey mad. Because this is how we win.